Hey, yo, Adrian! I'm over here watching the podcast.
What are you talking about?
We're reviewing Robot Wars here, you know?
Hey,
What do you think we're doing?
Hey, we're reviewing Robot Street Warriors. What are you talking about?
Hey. What's happening, guys? Hardcore Kid here, and welcome to episode 50 of the Hardcore Podcast. And today we have a double feature. We're going to be reviewing Heat B of Robot Wars Extreme Warriors, and then we're going to be reviewing the Lab Rats episode, Robot Fight Club, which should be a lot of fun. And joining us today, we have ResettisReplicas.
Oh, you're looking at the future champion here. Last destruction next week, yeah.
And we have, from Team Green Machines, Joey Maffei.
Fight robots, not people.
I said Maffei, not Sharky. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at episode 2.
Hey, what about me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you forgot. They got my introduction, Brandon. You know good.
And, of course, Mr. Southpaw, Otaku Nate.
You forget my introduction one more time. I'm giving you the old right hook.
Yeah, you got. Who do you think you are, Ivan Drago or Adonis Drago?
Nah, I'm neither. I'm Antonio Inoki.
Yeah, it's actually a really good time to be reviewing this episode, especially with the release of Creed 2 in theaters, the latest Rocky movie. And the reason we talk about Rocky so much is because the winner of this heat was the ultimate underdog, a big, thick brick with a sexy chainsaw tail, Rocky Balboa.
Rocky Balboa. Chainsaw. Yeah.
Am I crazy, or is this the most successful chainsaw bot ever?
If you want to get technical, it's the most successful robot that had a chainsaw hanging off of it.
Well, there was a lightweight robot had a chainsaw too. I think it's Executioner, I believe.
Was that
it
like
was from...
I'm guessing it was like from 94, 96 BattleBots.
99 BattleBots in the lightweight division.
And I know Al Kindle built Tyrant, which had a chainsaw on it, but it was interchangeable with an axe, and he managed to have some success with that. He actually was able to cut a giant C in Creebot's big wooden wheel until the chain fell off. Yeah, but as far as the design of Rocky goes, it's a box. It's got some spiky bits on it. It's got a chainsaw tail that I've never seen work once.
Its top panel comes off easily, as we saw in its fight with the bat.
Yeah,
that panel's got some serious overhang. Like, it really shouldn't be a surprise that the vertical spinner got it.
But if there's one thing that really gives this robot some personality, it's the driver.
Oh, God.
Duane Bingham.
Yep.
This guy is one of the most entertaining roboteers I've ever seen in these TV shows. I mean, I remember seeing him in Robotica with Zero, and when he got that from behind victory in the labyrinth, he goes crazy, rolls on the floor, and just wigs out in celebration.
Homer Simpson style.
It was awesome.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that Running Man gif that we'll put in post.
I really hope somebody on the new season of BattleBots or King of Bots does that.
Oh, I'm sure they will. There's going to be a lot of entertaining guys showing up.
Hey, if anyone from the New Jersey scene wants us on our team, you know, invite me. I'm always entertaining, even though I'm not a roboteer.
What about Brandon?
Nobody cares about Brandon.
I don't know. Who can lift more?
Oh, come on.
He's stronger than me.
Yeah. Stronger than you.
He put Craig Danby in a fireman's carry. That's how strong he is. We'll never let you forget that one, Craig.
Yeah, but... Yeah, Rocky, it's kind of a dull design, but it's a hell of a pusher.
I don't mind box bots, as long as they're entertaining. Like, when you're building a box robot, there's a fine line between the Tornadoes and the Storm 2s, and the Brimhers, and, what was the one that was the pièce de shit from Season 1? Close enough, that's it.
Close enough, yeah. At least Rocky could move.
Yeah.
If you can build a robot and it doesn't move off its spot and just breaks down for no reason, yeah, that's an epic fail. But yeah, this is a really it's a really strong bot, very really thick steel. The chainsaw, yeah, it was mostly for decoration, but And I especially love whenever it gets a victory against over an opponent, it always sticks a little trophy on the top. Like when it beat Medusa, it put those squiggly lines on top.
You're winner.
You are winner. Yeah. Yeah, you can say it's boring, but I like it. And Duane Bingham's entertaining. The chainsaw tail may as well be a keep away stick, but hey, there you go. It was, and to be honest, it was kind of the underdog throughout the entire heat, I think, because yeah, it had pushing power, but when you see it go up against all these big spinner bots like Manta and the Bat, it seems like it'd be at a big disadvantage. But hey, it's versatile and it managed to outdrive and outmuscle everybody. Joey, what do you think of Rocky?
Definitely one of the best pushers in the heat, and for some reason, it reminded me of the 12-pound robot PITB, which was an easily good pusher as well, and able to knock out nasty vertical spinners in the 12-pound division.
Essentially, Rocky is just breaking the disc with his face. He's pretty much doing what Rocky did against Clubber Lang.
I break discs with my face in the United Kingdom.
What?
It's a Death Grips reference.
Yeah. Anything else to say about Rocky?
I don't care about real life.
Ian?
Yeah, I think that there should be some regulation that if you're going to enter a plain black box, that you got to bring along a Duan.
Yeah. Yeah, but that pretty much covers Rocky. Now let's move on to the Heat finalist from the Team -0 Laboratory, a.k.a. the Batcave. We have the Bat.
The Bat. Vertical Spinner.
Yeah, what a beast this thing is.
Oh my god, I love this design. If they did awards for this series, I would have given the Bat Best Design. Because it looks so beautiful. I love the brass exterior. I love the flappy wings that don't do anything, which makes me question why they're on there in the first place. And that disc.
It wouldn't be a bat if it didn't have wings.
When I first saw this thing, I thought those wings were supposed to be a self-righting mechanism. But then I see the weakness, and it says, no self-righting mechanism, and I'm like, what the hell?
Those wings don't really have any force behind them if it got stranded on its side. I think it's mostly just there to keep it from being tipped over, but I don't know.
I think it's just aesthetic. I mean, you breathe on them and they fall off, so they can't have had any real expectations.
I've seen plastic on gunpla kits that was more durable than those wings.
I like how they had to fold them up because at their full extension they were too big to fit in the arena. Like, you notice that they enter with the wings all folded and then like piece of string pops off at the start of the match to spread them.
Yeah. One thing I did notice about the Bat, in the first match and the Heat final, the teeth on the disc, the blunt sides were going upward. And in the Mad Cowbot match, the sharp edges were going upward. What was that about?
Maybe recoil? I mean, they broke it instantly on the first hit.
Yeah, I think it was for a safety measure, but if that was the case, then why didn't they just do what Meshuggah did in the Dutch Wars and just put the locking pin in place?
Because then
then they'd have no spinner.
Touché.
Yeah, if the weapon works, why would you just lock it in place? But yeah, the Bat, I will say, when the disc worked, it did get some really good hits. Like, it got some good hits on Medusa. It got some good hits on Mad Cowbot, which the producers decided would only be shown in the highlights package and not in the actual match. Like, I watched the highlights package. Nate skipped through it, but I watched it. And there are shots of the Bat taking out Medusa's power link. It's got some shots of the disc hitting Mad Cowbot a few times, and it's like, why the hell wouldn't you show this in the actual match, you nudniks? This is why, like, we bury Robot Wars editing so much, and this is one of the main reasons why. I don't know. Joey, what do you think of the Bat?
Well, next to Cyclone and Hyperactive, the Bat has a very good vertical spinner. It's a shame it has weapon problems, but they also have a second weapon in the back. They have a wedge.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked all right. Nate, how about you?
I've pretty much already stated my love of the bat, so you can just go on.
Ian, any last things to say about the bat?
Awesome design. Everyone should make robots like that.
Yes.
Totally.
Give it some character, some personality. I look forward to the day that somebody builds a robot version of Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn! Puddin'! Okay, that was...
So would it be like a hammer?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
the big hammer
Oh,
on
yeah.
it.
Get on that, Al Kindle or Jason Marston.
Or Mrs. Psycho.
Do it. Do it.
AKA Mike's wife. Yeah, but yeah, that covers the bat. So we'll move on to the second round finalists. And
Wouldn't you want to see my hammer?
yeah,
Sorry, I had to get that in.
Sounded more like Henry the Chicken Hawk.
Don't know who
chicken
that
hawk,
is.
and I get some chickens. So we'll move on to the second round finalists, and let's start with Manta.
Manta. Stingray.
Oh, I was so disappointed by Manta in this episode.
You know,
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to go for a real obscure reference here, but one of my favorite Let's Players on YouTube is a guy by the name of Chugga Conroy. I'm sure a lot of our viewers know about him. But he did a Let's Play of Mario Sunshine, and while he was doing, like, the blooper race in Rico Harbor, his batteries crapped out on his controller.
Oh,
and-
man.
Just as he was about to finish it. And it was a great moment. He just went, "My batteries!"
Yeah. And it's like at the beginning, one of the team guys said that they had finally gotten new, bigger, and stronger batteries for Manta.
Right.
I'm still waiting on those bigger and better batteries because they certainly didn't appear here.
What did they go from 12 volts to 14 volts?
Eh, I don't know. When the blade was working, it did do some nice damage.
In the first fight, it looked like it had a one-tooth spinner.
And then in the second round, it derped on the first hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will, to be fair, it's still better than the Season 1 disc, which the most damage it ever caused was to Tiger Cat.
Pinwheel. The pinwheel it
The
had.
Pinwheel of Doom.
Oh, you mean Manta?
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty good for what it was in Season 1. I thought it did some real good damage.
Me too.
Like, it destroyed the Mad Cow.
I love the look of Manta, but man, oh man, they did not learn their lesson with the batteries.
I think they just got a daft pair of batteries.
What, you think they took a flat one by mistake? Like, one that they forgot.
Or maybe they
like,
just forgot to charge them Evil
Yeah.
Weevil style.
Well, yeah, with Evil Weevil, it's like they had several charged batteries and one uncharged battery, and, like, guess which one they just randomly put in.
But even with that said, it's a shame. But I've always liked Manta, and I just wish we could have seen a bit more in this series. Maybe could have made it to the Heat final. I would have been happy with that. But and little funny thing about Manta, in all its losses, it's never been counted out. Like it always jitters, but it doesn't like stop altogether. That's kind of weird. Well, what else can you say about Manta? Joey?
I'll say that tangentially related, Critical Mass, their robotica entry, has got to be one of my favorites on that show.
Yeah, and Ultraviolence, which has the same basic blade design. That was hands down the most destructive robot I think Robotica's ever had. Just
killed
they
the
were not
prepared for that.
I saw its fight against Tiger Wood.
They had that spinning blade up against a wooden robot, and it was just shooting splinters everywhere.
It was glorious.
And they were
not at all equipped to handle that.
Yeah. Little fun fact, Jeff Sesnick still has Manta. He has it in a workshop sitting on the floor. And, yeah, it's sad seeing it there, but at least it's good to know that it still exists.
It's like seeing Tazbot and Dissector in Don Hudson's workshop.
Or Dr. Inferno Jr. on TV.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, well, that's Manta. Civil War champion, number 3 seed, went out in the second round. But
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the other second round finisher, and that is Mad Cowbot.
Mad Cowbot. It's a cow.
Moo.
Moo. Yeah, this was actually loaned to Ted Shimoda of Team Think Tank by the Mad Cowbot team, who competed with Mad Cow last year and competed with Psycho Chicken this year.
Yeah, it's pretty nice of him to give the good one away.
Yeah, I don't know. If I were to choose between having to drive Psycho Chicken and Mad Cowbot, I'd go with Mad Cowbot.
We have to talk about the elephant in the room, though, and that's its drive motors.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see, they use E-Techs for the drive motors. Now, you guys are Roboteers. What are E-Techs commonly used for in robot combat?
I don't know, but I'm guessing from the way you've set this up that the answer is spinning weapons.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Cyclone has an E-Tech, Nightmare has an E-Tech,
Aftershock had one.
Tombstone has an E-Tech. Yep. And this thing used E-Techs for drive. And you know what other robot I've seen that uses E-Tech motors for drive? Introverter. And I think
that thing was a little fast for its own good.
That was Ted Shimoda's bot too, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ted Shimoda, you crazy bastard.
Oh, yeah, he always comes up with some really crazy designs. But
He's no Mike from Wedge Industries, though.
Yeah, he's a great builder, though. And yeah, it's kind of a shame that the drive derped on it. And we were watching the episode before, and Nate just pointed this out, but it's weakness.
Yes, its weakness. Its strength is that it's heavily armored, and sure. Its weakness? Unreliable steering.
Get it? Yeah, like, I didn't think about it, and then when Nate pointed it out, I'm like, oh. Yeah, steering.
I don't think that was intentional, but they always say the best comedy is unintentional.
Yeah, Mad Cowbot, though, it's a decent drum spinner. Like, there are quite a few vertical spinners in this series.
If it didn't have the reliability issues, I think this thing could have won the heat.
There's a lot of drum spinners in this series that just don't work. Mad Cowbot was at least able to get some nice hits in, take some chunks out of some of the bots, take out a blanket. But yeah, that pretty much covers Mad Cowbot. Lost drive, got a bit unlucky, but it's still pretty cool. Now, people may criticize Rocky Botboa for being a box on wheels, but say hello to the epitome of box on wheels in the first round loser of this episode.
I still say close enough is worse.
Medusa oblongata.
Medusa oblongata. Box.
With the spinny
Vertical
thing.
spinner. Really? Another one?
Another one. What is this, BattleBots 2018?
Yeah. Well, I will say this. Technically, from a technical standpoint, it's better than the first version, which was just a wheelchair with a goofy-looking spinning blade on the top.
And head.
Well, it has the head here, too.
Well, it's more
But, reliability-wise,
Oh.
it took some hits from the bat and just derped out.
Okay, I have a question again. Here's a pop quiz. What do all the great box robots have in common?
Their shape.
No, well, yeah, that too, but what do they have in case they get flipped over?
Nothing.
Really?
Really? Really?
Oh, not Medusa. What's Medusa got?
Oh, no.
As it go to Shremek.
Nope.
Nope.
This is okay. I'm gonna make the joke here. All the great box-shaped robots, Tornado, etc., are all invertible. Like Panic Attack, what may not have been invertible, but it rarely got flipped over. And even if it's Ceremek was a bit naff, but Medusa oblongata, if it gets flipped over, it's done.
I actually think because of how wide the robot is, like, it's, what, 34 inches wide.
Yeah, no, ain't nobody gonna flip us over. Nobody gonna flip us over. God damn it!
Well,
Yeah, it kind of got to be wide every way.
given that there weren't really any big flipping weapons, with maybe the exception of Trilobite, I don't think anybody could have gotten Medusa over, but...
Matilda, maybe.
Wait until we
I
get
don't
to
know.
Matilda.
I think the bat could have.
Oh god, I just realized what I said.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's a huge... This is hands down I think one of the biggest robots that has ever competed in Robot Wars.
It's not bigger than Reptilian, is that? God, that piece of crap.
I think it might be bigger, but I don't know.
I don't know. There might be... Robot might be bigger.
Nah.
No?
One thing for sure, that Medusa 2000 is way better than Medusa Oblongata.
Well, at least Medusa Oblongata had a functional design, even if its weapon was pants.
And it could move. Like this thing, it's kind of, besides being just so big, it's just so hard to maneuver. Like just driving around, trying to hit robots with the disc, and that disc.
Oh,
what is
God.
That disc?
It's a pin.
It's supposed.
You know, forget what I said about Manta. That's a pinwheel.
Yeah.
It's supposed to look like Greek art, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Like with
Greek
all the squares.
art looks like that.
Look it up. Like.
You know what it looks like? The Triple H cross, if it was colored pink. I don't know. Yeah, and I think also one thing I noticed, it's reversible. So I don't know if it gets flipped upside down, maybe you can run on it.
Nah.
I don't know. Yeah, there isn't much to say about Medusa. It got knocked out quickly and then Kill-A-Lot flipped it over, and yeah, that was it. Well, that does it for Medusa, but it was a big box. But I will say this: the other first round loser isn't a box. In fact,
it's a real piece of work, is what it is.
Trilobite.
Trilobite.
What is this thing?
I'm telling you, it's a turkey vulture.
That was my reaction when I first saw it come out. Like, I had a vague shape of what it was. I'm like, okay, well, what is this thing? It's like Crush or something. And then when I saw it come out, I just burst out laughing because I'm like, oh god, what the hell is this thing?
Yeah.
It looks like the awful child of Robo Chicken and Tartarus.
Yeah, it's... Well, I will say this. It looks good.
Oh, yeah.
But combat-wise, no.
No, just...
Absolutely no. Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and,
there's three major problems with Trilobite. Number one, it's way too slow. It runs on tracks, and it doesn't really have much maneuverability.
People, if you're curious, please ask Mike Franklin on how you build a tracked robot.
Number two, the weapon. Wow, that's... Number two, the weapon. It really doesn't have all that much reach to it. Like, you just have this tiny little space for you to grab onto a robot and then lift it up. And
Spartacus was a better crusher than this.
And it doesn't even really have that much lift. Like when it entered the arena, you can see it in the upward position, and it's like, oh wow.
He couldn't even suplex featherweight.
If you want to see a really good version of this robot, just look at the Season 1 version of Bite Force.
Yeah.
It ran on tracks. It had the Crusher lifter. Oh, and did I forget to mention, in the pits, Lawrence Fear actually name-dropped Complete Control.
Yeah, he says, we're looking to take complete control over our opponents. Subtle!
Yeah.
And his ground clearance was a little too high.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing it now,
It's too long.
You know what?
Yeah, it was all covered in entanglement devices.
It may have been bad, but it was the right kind of bad. Like, the kind of bad that makes you laugh.
Yeah.
This isn't like Twister bad, it's like Team Death bad.
This one looks sturdier than any Team Death machine.
Oh, that's true.
Actually, I just realized it kind of reminds me of Mortalis.
Does it?
Immortalis?
Remember how it had that scoop?
It kind
with
of
the
does,
Crusher?
yeah. But
Oh,
I
you
still
mean
say like
Metalis.
yeah,
Metalis.
yeah. Oh yeah, Metalis.
I said
Yep.
Mortalis.
You said Immortalis.
Yeah. Anything else to say, Joey?
It's just an extremely slow and sluggish. I mean, it looks good on paper, but combat-wise, didn't compete that well. But it's not the last time we'll see Trilobite.
Oh God.
We'll see it later on where it goes full read like you've never seen before. Yeah, so that covers all the machines. Let's move on to the matches, and these won't last long.
Yeah.
Manta versus Trilobite versus Mad Cowbot.
Basically, it was Trilobite getting squashed by the other two.
Yeah.
Mad Cowbot munched on some carpet.
Oh no, entanglement! Trilobite is disqualified.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. At least they lost. I mean, I do not believe that they deserve to win after coming in there with cloth.
Cloth, and I'm seeing ropes, and I'm seeing a brush on the top. Like, what is this? What is going on?
Wait! You're saying they shouldn't have allowed entanglements? Well, what about Ed Robinson?
Oh, they did allow entanglements in Extreme Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and well, I will say this: at least Trilobite's entanglement device worked, kinda.
Too bad about the rest of the robot. That is sad when the only thing that works about your robot is the entanglement device.
Yeah, I think cloth works a lot better than ropes. Actually, like it's because it's all woven together rather than one single coil.
Yeah, I will say one thing. The sight of seeing Kill-A-Lot pick up Trilobite, who, I swear to God, Trilobite has to be about the same length as Kill-A-Lot, and just seeing Kill-A-Lot hoisted up and around, it's like watching basically Kill-A-Lot holding up a giant boulder.
Doing the airplane spin.
Yeah, and then just falling ass backwards on Mad Cowbot. In
Robot Wars Arena, cow tips you.
Yeah. Manta and Mad Cowbot go through. Trilobite gets sentenced back to the chicken coop. And now we move on to Rockybot Boa versus the Bat versus Medusa Oblongata. And again,
the Bat swoops down and scoops up Medusa Oblongata and eats it. The end.
10 seconds.
One thing I noticed in this fight, Refbot was like half asleep in this fight. He counted out the wrong bot. I mean, come on. Wake up, Ref!
Whoever must have been at the controls for Refbot must have been sleep deprived. Mike Franklin, was that you? Hey, he was the one who drove Refbot into the pit in Series 6.
Really?
Yeah. I remember actually Stefan said about Medusa Oblongata, there's no way anything's gonna rattle loose.
I don't know if that was just I don't know if that was a VHS glitch or just Stefan just being a goof, but yeah. And another thing I noticed about Medusa, it has no bottom plate.
Yeah.
Like, so you could
I
easily
think the
just get
robot
right
wasn't...
under it and take out the wheels or something.
Well,
the robot wasn't done for this fight. They like hadn't even painted the snakes on that you'd see in the side events.
Yeah,
I guess they weren't. Yeah, it wasn't even fully painted coming into this fight. I guess they didn't finish the bottom panel either.
Oh, come on. It's just paint.
Yeah,
Besides,
I think
it had the head.
Yeah.
I think there was another robot didn't have a bottom plate in the UK Wars, and that was U2 from Season 7.
Chronic didn't have a base panel either.
Yeah, well, that's what weight does to you.
Yep.
And this thing was directly 220, so obviously they had to sacrifice as much armor as they could.
If only they had a way to make their robot run upside down.
But don't worry, they at least fixed the size problem. They brought Thor's hammer into the Annihilator.
Oh boy.
I can't wait until we get to Thor's hammer. Oh boy. But as far as the match goes, some pretty nasty hits by the Bat. It knocked it right into Sergeant Bastard's CBZ. It took out the power link, which they didn't show in the the footage here, but they showed in the highlights. And then the bat turned onto Rocky Balboa, sent it flying into the air, and knocked the top panel off. So, yeah, the bat definitely had some destructive capability. And then it broke down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those two were sparring for a long time after Medusa was dead.
But yeah. I think one last thing to note, and I just noticed this when I watched the match, but towards the end, when Kill-A-Lot is pushing the bat towards the pit, he goes over the flame jet, and you can actually see Kill-A-Lot catch on fire.
Oh,
Whoops.
whoops!
And then if you look at the screen in the background, you can see Refbot use his fire extinguisher, and it's like, oh dear.
I don't know why they cut that.
Kill-A-Lot hot under the collar once again.
If Jonathan Pierce was doing the commentary, he would have caught that one.
Yeah.
And then miss all the other major details.
You know what's bizarre? Steph, when Kill-A-Lot ripped off Matilda's wheel, Jonathan Pierce never mentioned it. Stefan Frank did.
What match was that?
Oblivion, Sawpoint, and Agrabot.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Grand Champions Hito, but
Who knew that Sir Kill-A-Lot had a foot fetish?
just like Shunt has a head fetish. Yeah, but so the bat managed to squeak through along with Rocky Balboa, and we move on to the first of the round 2 matches in a pushy battle to end all pushy battles. It's Manta versus Rocky Balboa.
Best fight of the heat.
Yes, absolutely. And like I said, Rocky was definitely the underdog going into this match, but it just managed to outmuscle Manta.
I love a good pushing match, and this is no exception. This is very entertaining bout, very good back and forth. Of course, Rocky's main weapon is a chainsaw, so it can't do anything.
It's got the spikes. And the little wedge thing at the front.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't Manta's first time facing a pushy bot. Remember Drillzilla in...
Yes. Yeah, well. And, what are you doing to the audio?
I'm just checking what the microphone device is. Oh, dear. We've been using the laptop mic this time, so,
Oops.
So what happened?
We're just switching to a different microphone.
Okay.
It's all right. Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
All right.
We're
yeah,
good.
like this is my first time using OBS.
Yeah.
So we had to, All right, a little bit of a microphone switch. So, as usual, what knocked Manta out was its batteries.
Yeah.
And it shows you that anything can happen in a robot fight. We've all learned that from previous tournaments.
Yep.
Yeah, you never know when a speed controller is going to die on you, a drum's going to die on you. You have to fight Silent Spring.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see you've discovered my Bite Force push.
Edit this out.
Grappler.
Sorry.
No, I'm just joking.
But anyway, only 3 things are certain whenever you go into a robot tournament. Death, destruction, and Ray Billings.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame, because I would have loved to see more of Manta. And the good news is we do get to see more of Manta later on in the series. We actually get to see its disc do a bit more damage. But it's just a shame to see it go out so early in the tournament.
Yeah, Manta really can't close the deal, sadly.
No. Yeah, but that pretty much covers this match. We'll move on to the other second round match in a spinner versus spinner clash. The cow versus the bat.
And it was mostly all about the bat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there a Batman villain who's milk-based?
The closest I can think of is Condiment King.
Oh.
Or Milk Boy from Super Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Super Dude?
Wait, no. Well, actually, in Pajama Man from Pajama Sam, one of Pajama Man's sidekicks is Milkman.
Yeah.
He's basically a milkman as a superhero who throws explosive milk at people, and he rides into battle with a cow.
Does he ride into battle on this thing?
Oh no, the cow could easily beat Mad Cowbot in a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, all it really mattered was the bat got one good hit on Mad Cowbot, flipping it over, and Mad Cowbot just spent the rest of the match spinning in circles. And here's the thing. Stefan Franks states, the Mad Cow is driving in circles, but that's okay. Is it? Is it really?
It's whatever they want.
After how many screw job matches have we had where a robot is spinning in circles and they get counted out? This has happened in the UK series. This has happened in the newest season of BattleBots. Like, what is this rule?
My rule is there's no real easy way to tell, but I think if you're going in circles but you're not making any lateral movements, that's when they should count you out.
So basically, if you're moving out of your circumference.
Yeah. If you can't move out of your circumference, then you get counted out.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I think a good example of this was Behemoth versus Magnetar in Series 10, because Behemoth got immobilized on one side, but it could still move forward outside of its circumference.
Yeah.
And it happened a couple times in early Motorama events, like 2004 in the second final. It was between one of Team Waiachi's pushing bots, Ricochet, against Truncation, and Truncation lost the side of its drive and got counted out. And that was the first final, and they had to fight again in the second final. And Ricochet won that final.
Did it hit the people's moonsault?
So
Wrong Ricochet, homie.
Sorry, I'm in a wrestling mood.
Yeah. Yeah, that covers the second round match. So we move on. They show the highlights, including clips from matches we didn't see. And we get the Heat final. Rocky Balboa versus the Bat. And this was all Rocky.
Yeah, when sheer brute force is going to win against a vertical spinner that, in all honesty, looked a bit fragile, to be honest. Like, as beautiful as the Bat was, it didn't look very sturdy.
Too sturdy, a bit too long. So Rocky could just drive around to the side.
Yeah, Rocky was compact, it was small, it used its size to its advantage. Craig Danby would be very happy.
Yeah, and Rocky basically made burnt bat toast and pushed it into the pit to cool it off, and that was that.
Can we talk about Dwayne's little catchphrase he had on this show?
Yeah, that was a good showing out there, Rocky. You remind me of me in my time.
No, in my prime.
Oh. You remind me of myself in my prime.
Yeah, well, at least you had a prime, Mick.
Yeah, and that's a running gag throughout the entire series.
Hey, don't insult the hardcore legend. Everything he's done for himself, man.
Yeah, he's a 3-time WWE champion. He didn't hold the title that long, but hey, he was still a champion.
And he was king of the deathmatch in FMW. Beat Terry Funk in a no-ropes exploding ring barbed wire match.
Yeah, the fact that the man's still alive today is astonishing.
He can barely walk, though, apparently. Like, he just got a hip transplant.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's lost a lot of weight, though.
Yeah. I saw him a few weeks ago at Northeast Wrestling.
Yeah, he's Big Mick to not so Big Mick.
Skinny Mick.
Skinny Mick. Yeah, but that pretty much covers this episode. It's kind of a mixed bag for me.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
I give it a 6 too. Like the first two matches were too short. I like the Manta versus Rocky.
The semi matches were better.
Yeah.
Heat final match was also entertaining.
Yeah, just seeing Rocky just bully the Bat all over the place. It was a lot of fun. And Duane Bingham also especially made it very entertaining.
Yeah, that's the thing with a lot of these heats. Like, some of them may not be great, but we're going to have a lot of fun characters on this show. And we may be having one that you may have seen on BattleBots back on our show.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
That would be awesome.
Yep. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, Ian, what would you give this episode?
Tough call. I'm going to go 6.5.
All right.
For the reasons you said, robots were dying way too easily, but they were really, really nice to look at.
And Joey.
Yeah, I'm with everyone on this. I give it a 6 out of 10. But I have to say this. This heat is way better than Heat 8, which is
Without
probably
question.
my...
As Tony Schiavone says.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it's an okay episode. But the next episode I kind of like a little better. And that's because it features one interesting machine that... definitely, certainly one of the scariest bots around, and that is Conquering Clown.
It's the return of the killer clown from Illinois.
Yeah.
Especially we'll see with the mask in one part.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah. The Iron Mask.
Pennywise, eat your heart out.
Yeah. And it's also going to be competing alongside the number 4 seed Brute, Unibite 2.0, Texas Tornado, Sir Force-a-Lot, no relation to Kill-a-Lot, and also from the Rocky Balboa team, Black Widow, driven by Tanya Bingham, the wife of Duane Bingham. So, yeah, that's another episode to look forward to. So, yeah, that pretty much covers this review. Now, we're going to move on to the Lab Rats review, so if you're done watching this, stay tuned, because the Lab Rats review is next. Until next time, I'm the Hardcore Kid.
I'm Otaku Nate.
I'm still ResettisReplicas, Adrian.
And I'm Joey, and remember, fight robots, not people.
Peace out, and cease.
Yo, Adrian!